Well, it's 12 o'clock and we want to be respectful of everybody's time here, and we'll get going on the lunch and learn today. My name is Cheryl Carr. I work in career services at Walsh College, and we're just delighted that you are here as participants, but also we want to welcome United Wholesale Mortgage in the presentation that they'll be giving today. We're excited to hear opportunities there, as well as an overview of the company. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free, just to ask them at that time, and they'll be happy to answer any questions. And I'm sure they'll tell you a little bit about the upcoming event that we're really excited about on Monday, where you can tour the United Wholesale Mortgage facility. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Justin, I believe, and he's going to start the presentation.
Actually, Cheryl, thank you. It's Alex. You can
Yeah,
start
Alex,
over
you
me,
can take
but
it.
it's okay. First of all, thank you, Cheryl, for that intro, and welcome everybody to this. We're really excited to have everybody part of this. I think the goal of today, and everybody who's going to present here at UWM is going to introduce themselves as we go through the presentation. But again, my name is Alex Ilezai. I head up corporate strategy and capital markets for the company. I'm also on the board of directors, and I'll kind of sprinkle in some commentary as we go through the presentation here, but certainly want to give you guys a little bit of a peek behind the curtain on our company, things that we're doing. We've obviously experienced a lot of growth over the last 10 years or so. And even recently, as we've grown into the top mortgage company in America, we've hired over 1,000 people just since January 1st. Even that's a big company, right? Just even hiring 1,000 people. But we're excited to have everybody here today. And I'm going to turn it over to Blago, and he's going to go through some of the company overview stuff, and then we'll start drilling down into some of the other sections. But I think this presentation will probably go 35 minutes, and then we want to make sure that we have ample time to answer any questions that anybody has along the way. Okay, so Blago, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Alex. Let me introduce myself. My name is Blago Sekreski. I am a director of SOX compliance here at the UWM. My connection with Walsh College is that I graduated with Bachelor of Accountancy degree in 2008, and for a couple of years I was conducting the advanced accounting and business combination labs at Walsh College. And after that, I spent 10 plus years in one of the big four public accounting firms. And I joined UWM as part of our effort when we became a publicly traded company, just because my role was to build up the system of internal controls for financial reporting based on the Sarbanes-Oxley requirements. So let me talk a little bit about the UWM, and we have this slide that we can talk about some of the accolades and awards that we have received as a company. As you can see, it's 2024. We were ranked top workplace by USA Today, and the main driver for that was that we were great as a people-centered culture. That's the main thing. We do have some standalone slides about the culture and some videos that we'll share with you, but that's good to mention and share with you. Also, Housing Wire acknowledged us as the top 1,000 companies as it relates to the technological innovation in the mortgage industry and the real estate. And fun fact is that, as you guys saw on the slide before, we do have like around 7,200 team members, of which 1,700 are with IT. So technically, our IT department we can make an agreement that is a standalone company within our organization, being 1,700 practitioners strong. Also in 2022, we were recognized by Training Magazine as a Hall of Fame inductee, after being 6 years in a row ranked as a top training organization. And I do believe that in 2022, we were #1 training organization in the world. The story behind is that what we target as it relates to recent graduates is that the trading platform that we provide for students to feel comfortable, that will build you up based on the specific needs and the position that you apply, that we have a very, very well-developed program to help that transition as you build up your career from graduating from school and entering in the workplace. So Justin, we can go to the next slide, and let's talk a little bit about what we do, because the objective of this is to be a lunch and learn session. So let's talk a little bit about our role in the lending process. So before we go and explain about the wholesale lender and lending process, is you as a borrower, they have two options of obtaining a loan. One is direct to consumer lending, where you will go and apply at a financial institution, whether it be a bank or financial credit union and obtain the loan through that pathway. Or the other one is that you will go and talk to independent mortgage broker, then on your behalf will do the shopping and try to identify the best opportunity for you as it relates to the loan rate, speed, service, or an associated fee, that they will do technically the shopping for you. So that's where we operate. So UWM is a wholesale lender, and we were like #1 lender across both segments, as from direct to consumer and the wholesale lending. So in this case, that we are supporting the brokers, okay, because they shop for the best deal for a borrower, and they will come and we drive the whole process from when they bring the application from the borrower, as it relates to the process for underwriting, closing, and funding of the loan. And interesting fact that even us as an employee, we do not get directly the funding from UWM, but we do also have to go to the brokers. That's our support to the broker community, because that's the best way for borrowers to get their loan. So that's the model that we operate, and that's known the wholesale lender. And as I stated, we have been #1 wholesale lender since 2015 through nowadays, and also we are like #1 lender in the nation across both direct to consumer and wholesale lending. So let me ask any questions, any comments as it relates to this content, or we can go to the next slide. Okay, we'll play one video that I think will be good for everybody to see the culture that in our company though. Justin, you can go ahead and play that video.
The music's not playing.
Yeah.
You might have to unmute it.
Let's see here. The music might not be playing here. I'm sorry about that, everyone.
It's okay. We can talk about some of those segments as it relates to the video. So one of the key factors for our success is our culture, and we'll share this slide after the presentation, and you guys are going to be able to see the YouTube video with the audio, but it technically is showcasing some of the events that we have within our company. So as we stated, that one of the main reasons for us receiving all those accolades was that we are people-centered culture. And in this video, you can see various elements of our culture as it relates to celebrating some of the holidays. Also, as one of the video was about the fair that we have here on campus on our grounds. Also, it shows some of the training facilities that we have at our sports complex, and we do have every week hundreds of brokers that are coming on our campus. And like for example, a couple of weeks ago, we had like 900 of the brokers that they come here, they get trained, they become better. So training is a big part of our culture. Also, you guys can see some of the sports games, and I'm not going to go into a lot of the campus content because Leah will present specifically on that. What I will say is this: like this is one my belief is this, that when you talk about culture, it's same like beliefs and the values. You don't talk about those, you leave those. So I will encourage you guys that we have that Walsh College tailored event on April 15th that you guys can come. We have organized tour for you that you will be able to experience that firsthand, the vibe and the culture that we have. So with that being said, I will say that take advantage of that opportunity. Like as Alex said before, that you can go behind the curtain and see how do we operate and how it is to be part of UWM. So with that being said, I will transition to Leah that she can give us a little bit more information about the pillars, and also we can talk about our campus a little bit more in details though.
Yeah, thank you, Blago. Hi, everyone. My name is Leah Davis. I work on the talent team here at UWM. I am specifically a university recruiter. So I had our internship recruiting season here at UWM, but I'm super excited to go over our campus and starting off with our 6 pillars here before we jump into a little bit of those cool amenities that we briefly saw in the video. So with our 6 pillars, this is really the backbone of our company. These are the values that really motivate us to be so great, and probably one of the reasons why we are the #1 overall mortgage lender in the nation, creating just an overall amazing culture here at UWM and where we work. So just to kind of briefly touch on each of these. So as Blago mentioned, we are a very people-centric company. We put people first here. So we invest in their growth and their advancement. And we have a very exciting work environment and company culture, just providing a really great work-life balance with that as well. Service is everyone's responsibility. We've been recognized as a company with top service, client service. We're always striving to give that elite client service on a day in and day out basis. Make every interaction, as great as the last. Relationship driven. We focus on relationships over transactions. So we want those relationships for the long haul. We want to build and maintain those, which is one of the reasons why we do bring all of our clients on campus on a weekly basis. Thumb pointers, not finger pointers. This is all about just taking accountability, kind of owning your role and responsibilities, and supporting all of your team members around you. And then continuous improvement. We focus heavily on growth. UWM really wants to see us all succeed and will help us get to that point as well. So always looking for ways to grow and get better here. And then fun and friendship. Definitely a very fun work environment, as we've touched on, which we'll see a little bit more here in our next slide. So if we want to go to the next one, just to give an overview of the whole campus that we have here. So 200 acres of campus, it's very large. We have a north building, a south building. We also have a UWM sports complex. So it kind of gives an overview of what that looks like. We also have a very large overhead bridge there as well that links both buildings, which is really, really cool. I believe one of the largest overhead pedestrian bridge in the nation. So we'll kind of take a look into each of these buildings and see some of the amenities that we offer. So at our North Campus, this is our larger of the buildings. So we do have a gym and a basketball court, full functioning gym. Those are open 24/7. They're free for team members that work at UWM. Just a really great perk that we offer here. We focus a lot on just like health and well-being of our team members. We do have, with that being said, an in-house doctor's office called Salta. So you can use this as your primary care physician. I actually personally do, or just as an urgent care. We have a hair salon, a massage therapist, and a big cafeteria and a Starbucks as well. That's in our north building. Going over to the south building, we do have a Hunter House hamburger, so that is exclusive to UWM team members. We have arcade rooms just to kind of loosen up throughout the day if you have a break or on lunch period. We have a Dunkin' Donuts in our south building. We have very big kitchens with a lot of snack and food options. We have free fruit truck, which you see there. We also had to get a little bit creative with the open space. We have these really cool storage units that hold a lot of our meeting spaces and kind of huddle rooms within that as well. And then as kind of touched on there, you can see an overview. We have a big cargo net that you can sit on. So those are just some fun amenities that we have here, really just making it as convenient as possible for our team members and providing all of those great resources and perks while they're here on campus, working on a daily basis. So very exciting to have all of that. Just wanted to briefly touch on the benefits as well. So these are our great health benefits. We have full health, dental, and vision insurance. You do start with 10 days of PTO your first year with us. We also have what we call 2 BU here days. So essentially it's 12 days total that you begin with. You get 2 BU here days every single year. At the new year. So those are just for, if you want to celebrate a holiday that maybe we don't have off as a company, your birthday, things of that nature, just giving you those days to take that time off for what you would like to spend that with. We have 401k and employer match, I should say, and then a few others. We have volunteer hours that we offer, and those that you can see there. If you have any questions about any of these as well, feel free to put them in the chat, and we can touch on those a little bit more. But that is a little bit about our culture and our benefits that we offer here. So I will pass it to Steve to kind of talk about skills and how to prepare.
Thank you, Leah. What's not great to love about all of the wonderful amenities here? Mine is the gym, by the way. So my name is Steve Mazer. I had the opportunity of going to and graduating from Walsh back in 2015 with a bachelor's in marketing. I've been with UWM now for just over 4.5 years, or close to 4.5 years. I've held 3 roles with the company so far. And so the first thing I want to discuss is, how does college prepare you for a role at UWM? And I'm going to kind of touch base on, for me personally. So one, college helped me build a structured development of critical professional skills that have transitioned over to the company. One thing sticking out big time for me was just all of the presentations and projects that Walsh, in the various classes that we did, both team and individual projects, kind of gives you a different dynamic of working individually, using the critical thinking skills, working with the team, and then not to mention, when you're doing the various presentations, writing a paper, you get the great feedback from your professors, from other students you might have worked with, and then also just constantly getting out of your comfort zone. There's a saying I like to go by of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and it is 100% true in the real working world. And then also, I didn't have personal experience with this, but I know one thing that a lot of colleges, and Walsh in particular, offers is great access to internships. We have a wonderful summer team member program here, and also just like the various networking opportunities, such as the career fair, and networking opportunities for the alumni. And then also just getting the degree itself, no matter what it is in, you're investing in yourself, and it just shows that you have the discipline, the dedication, and the commitment to succeed in a professional environment, and you're eager to continue to grow. And then all of these that are listed on the screen carried over into each role that I've held with UWM. And then secondly, the learning doesn't just stop at graduation. My journey through the company so far has been a wonderful one. I had the unique opportunity of joining the company, going through what's called their BIG program, the Business Innovation Group, which was a year-long internship that we got to spend any amount of time from a week to 5 weeks with all of the different teams within the company. And then right outside of that year, I had the opportunity, which was a little bit of a scary one, but it ended up being all right. I'm still here, of being placed as a team leader of one of our client-facing teams. And the reason why I say that is because the experience was unique, because I had never been in a position to where everybody around me knew more than I did. And then now, 2 years ago, I was able to join Blago and Justin's team. And the one nice thing about no matter which role you have here is there's endless resources and support, challenges, constant learning and growth. We offer a lot of shadow opportunities. There's various company trainings that you can learn about the other areas of the business. And then also the one thing I'm most thankful for, especially with the current role I have now, because I can't think of many other companies than UWM that would have taken the chance on me not really having, even though I went to, Walsh has the accounting background, but I got the marketing degree. So having the opportunity to be on the SOX compliance team, and to build a new skill set and build a career path and learn from, I'm learning all the technical stuff as I go, but just going to Walsh, building the soft skills has helped tremendously. And one thing, the last thing I'll leave you with is, you put in the hard work and the effort, and you'll succeed with anything you do at UWM. And now I'm going to turn it over to Justin for the underwriting portion.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. So yeah, my name is Justin Fritz. I'm an associate director with the business process controls team in finance. You may be wondering, why is some guy in finance talking about underwriting? The reason is I actually spent about 7.5 years with underwriting with UWM. When I joined back in 2016, I started from the ground up as an underwriter too, and I made all the way up to a vice president position. So I've gotten to see a lot of underwriters come through here, work with them, grow their careers. But there's a big spotlight in underwriting at UWM, because that's the engine of the entire machine. Underwriting kind of makes the whole thing go off. But a few things about underwriting before we get into it, just to kind of set the scene here. A lot of people ask, what is underwriting? I can give you a technical answer, but I like to do a kind of a thought process to start out with. I like everybody to think of someone that you've lent, let's say $5, $10, $15, $20 to before. Normally you get a picture of someone immediately in your mind. For me, it's my brother. Last time I lent him $20, the decision that went into it was, I know I'm never getting this money back. I think he bought some AA batteries. It is what it is. Now let's flip that around. What is underwriting? Let's say tomorrow you have to lend that same person $300,000 to buy a house. what kind of questions you're going to be asking. First question I know I'm going to ask is, how much money do you make? Can you pay me back? Can you pay me back on time? Do you have any debts? Do you have any car payments, right? All these things will start popping up into your mind, and it's not going to be just the mindless $20 anymore. So underwriting, risk-based decision making to determine if a borrower has the ability to repay a loan. Coolest thing about underwriting, I think, is that we work with a lot of government-sponsored entities and government agencies. So you think about the Veterans Administration, the FHA, the USDA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, a lot of names that you'll hear in the news. All of these places have what's called guidelines. So think about underwriting as almost an open book test of, how do I verify that someone can repay a loan with the answers right in front of me? So it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it's all meant to be easy, right? We want to make lending easy. But let's go ahead and hop into it. So what are some characteristics of a successful underwriter? You can boil it down to a few things. You got to be coachable, you have to be a problem solver, and you have to be solution oriented. But when you think about what does that actually mean, coachable. Can you take feedback? So if we're working together and we're side by side, and maybe I come up with a suggestion that if you do it this way, maybe you can do a few extra loans on a day-to-day basis. Is your first thought, well, that's a great suggestion, let me go ahead and implement it? Or is your first thought, no way, I'm not doing that, right? We have to take a look inside and make sure that we can take feedback, because we do this every single day, and feedback is a blessing at UWM, and your leaders will help you each day along the way to make sure that you're growing and becoming more efficient. Problem solving, right? You got to solve problems out there. I think that's almost a mandatory of any job responsibility out there. But what I like to kind of put into perspective now is, not everybody out there is working 40 hours at a Ford stamping plant making the same money every single week, right? We have the gig economy, we have YouTubers, influencers, Door Dashers, Lyft drivers. We have all of these things that people do for a living. So when it comes to underwriting, you have to figure out, how am I going to fit these different jobs into the bucket that I can have them repay this loan, right? We want to set them up with a perfect loan. But then you have to also think solutions oriented. When you go to a store and they don't have anything in stock and they just said, no, we don't have it. Okay, is that where the buck ends, or do you kind of go and offer an additional thing? Well, we don't have that, but maybe if we do it this way, we can offer a different solution and we can still keep this path moving forward. So there's so many things that play into it, but if you think about it, you have to be the hard worker and you have to have a positive attitude, and that's really these three key characteristics. Now, a lot of the questions that come up with underwriting, since it's such a big aspect, is, what's the training look like? How long is it going to take? Is it easy? Is it hard? Well, it's definitely challenging, but here's the thing. If you have no experience whatsoever, we can take care of that. So myself, in my past, I was actually a loan officer, and the best thing that I was good at was asking people for a credit card or a debit card to pay for an appraisal. I didn't know too much about underwriting guidelines or anything like that. So 8-week class, it's called Underwriting Excellence. UWX is typically what we refer to it. It's very content driven. So like, we're taking you through the guidelines, we're taking you through any overlays that UWM has, we're taking you through our process to make sure that you actually know what you're doing. And something that we found in training is that it's easier to learn a job by doing the job. So with that in mind, we were actually be able to create like test situations and mock examples of, here's how you do the job. So this entire 8-week class, it's not that you're just learning theory and going through the motions, you're actually learning on the job skills and how to do it. So that way, by the time you get done with the class, you feel way more confident than just, hey, go do this thing over there. And like Blago was saying earlier, we're an award-winning training team. The training team, the content's updated almost every single week just to make sure that we're never left behind, because with underwriting, government agencies change things a lot, and you'll see all of these different bulletins out there. So we have to be able to keep up with this. But that's another great part of this. You're never going to have yesterday or old information when you're going through these training programs. You're going to have the most recent, up-to-date information. So that way you're going to be the best at your position. And even better than that, like throughout the position, you're trained every single time something comes out. So you never have to worry about being left in the dark there. All right, mentoring. So as soon as you're done with class, it's not over yet. We do have a mentoring couple of weeks, which is basically, hey, we want our learners to feel confident. So that way, if I set you loose and say, hey, go approve $100 billion worth of loans, you have a lot of confidence there, because that can be pretty daunting when the first week we just let you run free and approve loans, right? Well, you've got training behind you and you've got 2 weeks of mentoring. This is where we would pair you up with, let's say a partner or a group of people where these are experts in underwriting. They're going to be giving you advice hand in hand. They're going to be looking at your loans that you're going to be approving. And think about it this way. The first week, they're kind of tied to your hips. So that way you have that confidence building. But then the second week, you're kind of weaning off of the need of their help. So it's, by myself, the week after that, I should feel confident, ready to go. in life, you're always going to have questions, but the cool thing about the mentoring program is for these 2 weeks, you're going to be tied to the hip. So these are going to be lifelong friends that you have at UWM that you're always going to go to them and ask these questions and ask for advice because that's what's going to make a good underwriter. All right, and the last thing, just kind of taking you through like what does career progression look like? I think something that's so cool about UWM and underwriting in specific is that you always know where your next step can go. And I hear that so much out in the job market of, okay, you get a job, where do I go next, right? What's my next move? We'll take a peek here at the slide. So you start off at Underwriter 1, that's where your Underwriter X class starts. When you're done with the class, when you're done with the mentoring, that's where you'd get promoted to the Underwriter 2. You know, that's kind of your rite of passage, you're working here. After a period of time, right, maybe half a year, depending on what we need and what's out there, you're kind of going to a senior underwriter. Now, underwriter twos are going to be more of your basic level decisions on the loan, and then the senior underwriter is going to be more of your credit and your income, more of the higher level. And each of our teams are consisting of underwriter twos and senior underwriters. But after that, it's really into the leadership path. So you'd be looking at a senior team lead where you'd be leading the underwriter twos and the senior underwriters and helping them make decisions day in and day out. So as a leader, you're not only just responsible for your loans that day, you're responsible for your team's loans. So it's a lot of great responsibility. And then of course, so our teams they're actually called pods, and we named them after Crayola crayons. It's really cool to see out on the floor, and you guys will get to see that when you come in on Monday. But division leaders actually lead about 6 to 8 of these pods. So as a division leader, you're determining strategy, which way we're going, how many loans are we going to get through, what's our promise to the brokers out there on how many that we're going to get going. And that's basically our service level agreement. But at the end of it, right, you're running all of these division leaders and you get to be a vice president. I always like to talk about time, right? People are so curious of like, how fast can you get there? How long does it take? There's no right answer, right? If you want to be someone who's focused on the production aspect and really hone your craft, that's fine. Underwriter 2, senior underwriter, that you could be in there for half a year. I mean, we have the accelerated programs, but you can do it very quickly. Myself, I think I was promoted to a senior underwriter in 6 months and then to a team lead within a full year. So the opportunities are out there. Division leader, vice president, I think we've seen people do it as fast as 3 years overall. So I just want you all to understand, like, the opportunities are there for the taking, and they're not going to be, you got to be here 10, 15, 20 years to get this position. It's, as we need the help, we're going to look at the people that are the most obvious choices, which we kind of went over some of those values. And these are the people that are the hardworking ones, the positive attitudes, and they're really all in with us. So let's see here. I think that's going to be it about for our presentation. I know the QR code as well. I believe we have right now for the accelerated underwriter program. So I'll keep a minute on this one so everybody can scan that as well.
A lot of good questions. Did anybody have any other questions? And you shared a little bit of information about the event on Monday. Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, I think not too much to prepare for, right? Like we'll show you around. You get a tour. You'll get to they'll get to take in the work environment, see some of the really cool amenities that we offer here. People will be surprised that we actually get work done with all of the stuff that we have going on. And then they'll sit down one-on-one with a recruiter, and we'll get to know each other and see if we can find the best fit for them. So just have them prepared to kind of talk about themselves, and we'll try to find them the best home.
Great. And that's from 4 to 6, I believe.
Yeah, I think it maybe 5 to 7.
I'll double check on the website.
It's from 5 to 7.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So we'll split them up, right? We'll have people that want to interview. We can get them going, and then the other group can go on the tours, and we can mix and match and just kind of flip them. So.
Excellent.
I got one last question. Who would be the main POC for any Q&A, for example, before Monday? Any person that I can contact if I have any other questions, or just if something pops up, who would be the POC within your organization?
Yeah, for the event on Monday, you can just reach out to our recruiting distribution email. It's just recruiting@uwm.com, and myself or John or any of our other leaders can address those questions for you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to mention too, I will be sending out the recording for this event today, as well as your PowerPoint that they've shared today. So, and I'll be getting that out tomorrow.
Great.
Great. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.